I want to bring in Max Everett, who is a former White House Chief Information Officer and currently works as a cybersecurity expert at Fortalice Solutions. He's in the Washington Bureau for us. Max, investigators confirmed the attack used a loophole exposed when stolen NSA documents were posted online. With that information, any idea who is behind the attack?
I don't think we have any real idea of that, and I think it's important at this point. I wouldn't worry as much about the attribution of who's done it. Now that it's out there in the public, and many of us in the security industry expected this day would come. In fact, some of us are surprised it took this long, but I think it's critically important to know that whoever was behind it, now that it's out there, other people are going to use the same attack.
Yeah, indeed. And the attack is really broad-based here. We've got hospitals, we've got universities, we've got FedEx. Is there a pattern, or is the only pattern no pattern?
Well, I think what you are seeing, frankly, is a pattern of typically companies that have perhaps older infrastructure. They're using older versions of Windows. Places like hospitals, telecommunications, typically they're just more, from a business perspective, they don't want as much downtime. So unfortunately, they tend to be slower about patching their systems. And I think that's really important to note on this attack is the underlying vulnerability that allowed for it was patched 2 months ago. The patch was put out by Microsoft. And so what you're seeing now is the companies that either couldn't or didn't get these systems patched are the ones that are most vulnerable.
Yeah, in our correspondence piece, he reported that the ransom requested was $300, and the ransom is to be paid via Bitcoin. So a couple questions. $300 doesn't seem like a lot of money, one, and two, what does the Bitcoin requirement tell us about the potential hacker?
Well, I think the $300 isn't a lot, but if you look at the nature of this attack, when it's attacking across thousands and thousands of machines, the dollars add up pretty quickly. I think the second reason for that is like any other market, they're trying to find the right price to get people to pay up. If they asked for $1 million, most people would probably stop and go another direction. $300 a machine might end up being a bargain for some of these entities that are that have been hit by the ransomware. Yeah. And I think Bitcoin is just telling us the fact that that's sort of an easy one to try and keep hidden. Obviously, these hackers, because they've hit across so many countries, they're going to have a lot of people looking for them. And so Bitcoin is probably their best effort to attempt at least to hide who they are or where they're based out of. And
apparently gone are the days of the cash drop in a trash can at 23rd Street or some similar location. No more. Bitcoin is the way. Now, the Spanish Ministry of Energy, Tourism, and Digital Agenda said companies operating on an unpatched, unfixed Windows system were the ones impacted. So it seems like companies or even individuals could protect themselves if they just got this digital fix?
They can, and the patch again has been out for 2 months. For consumers and regular people at home, if you simply set your machine to automatically update, that is absolutely your best protection. It gets a little harder for larger corporations and enterprises because they've got to find times when they're not going to impact business to do this. And very frankly, a lot of companies still today are not focusing enough on these basic steps to secure their companies. And that's why it's becoming more of an issue for CEOs and for boards of companies and other large organizations. They've got to be looking at this type of thing and have a better understanding all the way up to the board about how critical these things are.
My sense is that people don't click update because they think every time there's an update, first it takes time, but also it slows down their computer. It's just more junk on there. Is that true?
Well, I think people historically have looked at it that way, and frankly, sometimes, look, we've all been there where an update pops up right when you're in the middle of typing an email, and you hit later, you hit delay, you want to wait, and the next thing you know, you've waited a month. So I know that perception is out there, but frankly, a lot of the major vendors have gotten much better about making sure that their updates work well, that they don't slow down or cripple the machines. And so I think that hopefully people will start to realize how important those are for protecting their systems.
All right, very good. Max Everett, cybersecurity expert at Fortalice Solutions. Max, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.